And tonight we have live team coverage with Steve King, Terry Parker, and Angela Rozier. They have live reports from Palm Beach County to the Treasure Coast.
We begin with First Warning meteorologist Glenn Glazer as we continue to track Nicole. Glenn?
Good afternoon. Yesterday, 24 hours ago this time, we were doing the countdown until we get to the landfall, which happened just around 3 o'clock in the morning. If we go to Barron 7, please, that's where we'll take a look at the latest on Nicole. But right now, Nicole making or looks like it has made its third landfall. It's moving up into the panhandle of Florida. It crossed the state throughout the day today, and now eventually moving back onshore. We've had a lot of storms through the season here, and if we are we able to go to Barron 7 real quick, just so we can take a look at the satellite picture? We've got 14 named storms already this season, Nicole being the 14th, and now we don't see anything else currently developing in the tropics. So very good news for us when it comes to the tropics at the moment. There could be something way out in the Atlantic when we get to the next couple of weeks, but we're not really expecting to see anything develop near shore. So that's very good news. We'll have more on Nicole. I want to show you the latest track and everything coming up in just a few minutes. We'll have to get back to that when we can get these graphics straightened out, okay?
Okay, Glenn, thank you. Crews are working to assess damage in Indian River County tonight. Angela Rozier is live in Vero Beach with a look at the damage Nicole left behind. Angela?
Tiffany, you know what? Some of the people here in Vero Beach are still dealing with this flooding as they still try and clean up some of that debris left by the storm. This pickup truck is moving slowly as it makes its way down Oslo Road near US 1, and that's not the only street that's underwater. Work crews blocked the east side of the 17th Street Bridge Thursday morning because of flooding over there. Motorists tried to find another route, but some who live in the neighborhood slowly made their way through, either by truck, bike, or by foot. Ron Robinson lives down the street. He says he was out here on the road because he just wanted to see what was going on.
Well, I thought that we were kind of the worst down at the base of the bridge, but I'm finding out people have got it much worse off than I do. At least it's not into my house. But obviously some of these houses are kind of a mess.
This woman tells me she was trying to sleep when the storm made landfall. There was no damage to her home.
The preparation actually took longer than the cleanup because we were, so expecting. We didn't know where it was going to land, and I think the eye went over us. So it was very quiet in the middle of the night at one point.
We also found some minor flooding here at the City of Vero Beach Marina. Water levels near the dock were pretty high, and the picnic area also flooded. One man I talked to tells me he has lived here for more than 40 years. He's never seen anything like this. And emergency managers here in Indian River County say that there was very, very minor damage here in the area. They say just a couple of trees down as well as street flooding. Reporting live in Vero Beach, Angela Rozier, WPBF 25 News.
Angela, thank you. And we do have an update on the 17th Street Bridge. Vero Beach police say the bridge is now back open. It was closed due to flooding, as you saw the situation there from Angela. Other barrier island bridges have also reopened.
Well, some homes in Martin County were damaged by Hurricane Nicole, and the storm also took a toll on the county's beaches. Our Steve King joining us from Hutchinson Island with a look at the aftermath.
Martin County leaders say Hurricane Nicole did a number here on Bathtub Beach. Now, as you can see, even though the surf isn't quite as rough as it was earlier, there's a lot of beach erosion here. There's not too much distance between the dunes and the ocean. And a lot of people here on Hutchinson Island rode out the storm. Thankfully, nobody was hurt.
We just hung it out. And we were a little worried at certain times where the wind got, really strong, but had faith we'd be all right. I don't think I'd go anything stronger, but it was okay.
Just thankful it was not what we expected.
But some people were not so lucky. This home lost the entire floor of its garage, and other homes had some damage as well from the storm surge. This house now practically on top of the ocean due to the beach erosion. And while the ocean did breach some of the dunes along MacArthur Boulevard covering the roadway, most of the dune system held up. The county says crews dumping 700 tons of sand to fortify them is a big reason why the storm surge did not wreak more havoc. But the beach erosion also led to something else today that caught people's attention when a beachgoer found 6 human skulls and several small bones, which the sheriff's office believes are members of the ancient Native American tribe, the Ais people. who lived on the island. Officials say over the last 10 years, Hurricanes Dorian and Sandy also unearthed ancient human remains in this area.
These remains are about 8 feet, would normally be about 8 feet under the beach floor here, so it's most likely an Indian burial.
The medical examiner's office will conduct age and DNA testing on the bones, and if it turns out they are indeed ancient human remains, they'll be sent to a university in the state for historical preservation. Reporting in Martin County, Steve King, WPBF 25 News.
Wow, that'd be wild if they turn out to be ancient remains. Wow. All right, here's a look at what's going on with the visible satellite picture. Nicole now working its way up into the panhandle of Florida. And, well, it's been hanging around Florida for a couple of days now. It sure will be nice when Nicole exits quickly to the north overnight tonight and into tomorrow. In the meantime, still plenty of rain and wind around. And remember, because Nicole is headed this direction up toward the north here, the strongest part of the storm is right around Tallahassee right now and southern Georgia. A lot of these rain bands swirling around over on the east coast of Florida. And for us, we're getting some of that wraparound moisture from the circulation around Nicole, pulling in some rainfall from the Gulf of Mexico and dragging it across our viewing area. This will probably continue for at least the next few hours and then quietly calm down overnight, and that's going to be it. Latest update from the National Hurricane Center: winds at 45, moving northwest at 15, so it is going to start to really pick up speed, and by the time we get to early tomorrow morning, it will already be up near Macon, Georgia, and then eventually up toward the Carolinas as we get into the afternoon on Friday, and then that's going to be it. It's expected to dissipate within the next 24 to 36 hours, just fall apart. So what's left for us after this? Well, we had a very warm and breezy to windy day today, and then we're going to have a very hot day tomorrow with southerly winds. But here's what's headed our way for the weekend. A little bit of relief from the heat. We're going to talk about this weekend's cold front, how it's going to impact our weather, and what we can expect next week as well. That's all coming up in your First Warning forecast.
The powerful waves from Nicole caused roads to collapse. Take a look at these photos. This is part of A1A in Flagler Beach, the roadway splitting into chunks along the shoreline. Erosion leaving the road extremely vulnerable, this foundation caving in below the road.
Florida Power and Light is reporting there are still thousands of people without power in our viewing area right now. These numbers have fallen drastically as responders have been working all night on power restoration. The most outages are in Indian River County, but thousands are still without power in Palm Beach and St. Lucie counties.
Certainly, as you get into places like the Martin, St. Lucie area, people have been working in those areas and will continue to go in as it's safe in other parts of the state.
Governor Ron DeSantis speaking earlier today about those power outages and specifically said there are people working to restore power along the Treasure Coast right now. The governor says there are search and rescue teams on standby in case they're needed.
Our Terry Parker is live for us tonight with the latest from Florida Power and Light on their restoration efforts. Terry?
It's a big deal because if you don't have power, the one thing you obviously want to know is when is it coming back on. FPL officials are telling me tonight they are steadily making very quick progress. And meantime, the rest of Palm Beach County says they're snapping back to normal too.
FPL says already they have restored power for 95% or more of affected customers in most of South Florida, including Palm Beach County, working around the clock.
So by sunrise this morning, we had actually restored power to nearly half of those customers that had been affected by the storm.
They're sending crews north behind the storm as it heads out of state and quickly repairing lines as they go. They say by 2 p.m. Thursday, they restored power to 2/3 of impacted customers, but about 150,000 people across the state are still in the dark. Surf is still high in the Atlantic Ocean, pounding against the Boynton Beach Inlet, which rose several feet overnight. Officials saying all along storm surge was a big concern.
Palm Beach County environmental managers tell me that they are still out assessing any damage to the beaches. They say so far they have lost a lot of sand, which is to be expected, but fortunately the dunes held up.
Water poured over low-lying roads such as A1A and Manalapan, where cars are still driving through some flooded areas. Most have receded elsewhere, but we did find pockets of standing water like this residential road 2 blocks north of Boynton Beach Boulevard. FPL officials warning you, no matter how tempting a body of new water looks, stay out of it.
It is not worth losing your life over to go wading into high water. We unfortunately have already seen in Florida during this storm 2 deaths in Orange County because of electrocution with a down power line and high water.
And FPL also telling us tonight that if you live in Palm Beach County and for some reason you don't have your power back, they do expect 95% of Palm Beach County residents to have it by midnight tonight. As far as the Treasure Coast, they will announce that restoration schedule tomorrow. Terry Parker, WPBF 25 News.
Terry, thank you. The curfew in Okeechobee County has been lifted. All storm shelters in the county are now closed. Officials say Okeechobee County avoided serious damage, and residents are being urged to send in any damage to their property due to Nicole. This will help in requests for any recovery funding that's needed. A link has been posted on the Okeechobee County website.
All schools in our area were closed today, but Palm Beach County schools will reopen tomorrow. Okeechobee County officials have confirmed there will be school tomorrow. Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River counties will stay closed in observance of Veterans Day.